Okay, let's go over this oil pan pickup mod real quick. This is what your kit is going to come with. A new foam mat gasket, the actual pickup, Loctite, quarter 18 MPT tap, and it's going to come with a cut down Allen head so you can get to those hard to reach bolts. As far as prep work goes, I like to get most of the oil out of the pan, get it as clean as you can. The baffle, get that as clean as you can as well, especially on the top. I'll show you. I like to mark it on top where I'm going to cut it. So what I like to do is I like to take the tap and put it in the pickup and then kind of just get it started by hand a little bit. You want to be as straight as possible. Once you get a little bite on this thing, then I take a wrench and I use it, and I'm putting pressure going forward into the hole, and I'm going to slowly start to turn this tap in. Like I said, try to keep it straight. You don't want this angled up or down or anything like that. That's how you run into problems. Like I said, try to keep pressure. Sometimes I'll take my finger and push the tap from back here as I'm turning it in. Once you start getting further in, you can back it out a little bit, clear the threads just a bit, and then walk it forward again. Now you're not going to bottom the tap out. It's tapered, so you don't want to go crazy. But what you're going to do, I would pull this out and then take your pickup and see what your threads are looking like in there. Got quite a bit of threads on there. And then I take some brake clean and I spray it down the hole right here. You don't want any burrs or aluminum or anything like that in there. And then just to check, we're going to take this guy and we're going to thread this in and see what kind of depth we get out of it. So if you notice, the center of the pickup mod is a hex, 9/16. You're just checking to see where your threads go to. You're not trying to put this in permanently yet. So you can see right now, we got a little bit, I would say 1/2 inch of thread sticking out. So I'm gonna run the tap just a little bit more, probably until we have about 1/4 inch of threads sticking out of the pan itself. But we're looking good. You can see on there where it stopped in there. So we're just gonna go a little bit more, but we'll have plenty of threads inside. I'm gonna hand thread this back in. Okay, we're about there. So now I'm just going to go in a little bit more. Just take your time with this, don't rush it. Okay, you're good. Pull this top out. Now I'm going to clean this pan out. Now that the pan's clean, I'm going to take my Loctite here. Stunt House Loctite. I'm going to snip the end of it. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put some Loctite on the threads in the hole, and then I'm gonna put some Loctite on the threads on the mod, and that way we're covered. Doesn't have to be anything crazy, but you definitely want enough that this thing's not gonna come out. That should be plenty. We have it on the mod and in the pan right now. Let my hand thread this in. Okay, now that that's threaded in by hand, I'm gonna take my 9/16 and I'm gonna thread this in with a wrench. This should go in smooth. Should not take a bunch of force to get this snugged up. We don't want to crank on this. So got my thumb on it, bracing on the pan. I'm gonna give it a good push. There we go. Doesn't take much. Get it snug in there and then let that Loctite dry. And that's the pickup. Okay, so cutting the baffle, really all you're gonna end up having to cut is these areas right here. So what I like to do is I like to set it in there, get it kind of roughly where it goes factory, and then you have your hole right here. I just do a little mark right here and a little mark right here when I'm looking down at the oil pickup. Silver Sharpie works good, but if you don't have one, I'm sure you'll figure it out. And then I take it and I kind of just line up here, and that shows me that I'm going to be somewhere in this neighborhood right here. Same thing over here. Just kind of look at your mark on top and judge your area down there. Then you don't have to. Okay. So I like to measure the pickup in the pan and see how far it sits up above the bottom of the pan. So I usually go roughly 1 1/8 inch, 1 1/4, and that gives me enough clearance on the baffle. And that's when I cut down into the baffle. So on the baffle, if that's our center right there, I'm gonna cut on both sides of that and kind of give us a channel. This one usually gets taken off just the left side because the right side is empty, and then these two get a channel cut into them. So let's do that. Just a rough cut. I'm gonna see if it sits in there flat, and it does. So now that it sits in there, I'm gonna clean it up. We'll clean up all the edges, just plastic. If you have a Dremel, it'd be a lot easier. I figured I'd do this with a grinder just to show, because most people, that's what they're going to be using. That's what they got to work with. But a Dremel, you could be a little more precise about where you cut, how deep you cut, and then when you clean it up, you can get a real nice look. With some brake cleaner, get all the plastic out of it. Okay, now that we got it clean, you're gonna want to get it as clean as you can. This isn't going in a bike right now, so I'm not super concerned, but get all the plastic out of it. Should fit good by the time you're done cutting it. Now you have oil pickup mod. Put your gasket on it, put it back in the bike. I would say at least a few hours. If you can let it set overnight, then you know that Loctite is hard before putting oil in it and running the bike. That's always best, but minimum, I would say, 5-6 hours, let it chill. And it can be in the bike and cure, just wait to put oil in it.